Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another video. So in my last video that I did, which was the 10 most listened to albums in my collection, the 10 that I listened to the most, someone commented like, screw this thread, show us the 10 you listen to the least. And I kind of chuckled at it, and then later on I was thinking, I was like, that would probably be a pretty good video, because my whole collection, what I strive to do is keep records that I listen to, and I will listen to. And if there's anything, like, I go through very regularly, probably once a quarter, and I go through every record I've got, and I get rid of what I think I'm not going to listen to. So these are the things that have always survived, and I will not ever listen to them. These, in this stack, there's a high likelihood that I will absolutely never, not one time, listen to them. And so, first off the bat, I'll just show you this one. I have a rule that I do not keep sealed records. I either sell them sealed or I open them, because the records are meant to be played and all that stuff. 100% agree with that. That's my stance, all that. But there's this one, and it's got a long story behind this specific copy. I got it from a long-time friend of mine. I tried to get this record for probably 13 years. I tried to get this record, and he would not sell it. And finally, last year, he sold it to me. This is a sealed Appetite for Destruction. I will never listen to this record because it's the band cover. It's got the sticker or tattoo or whatever inside, and it's sealed. I do have an opened copy that I do listen to when I do listen to that record. But so that that's not part of the 10. That's a bonus, because I will listen to that album, but I will not listen to that specific copy. Now, these are records that I will not probably ever listen to this recording ever. And I'll kind of tell you why each one is stuff that I wouldn't listen to. First off, I do collect weird records. Okay, first of all, I love a good record that came out of a cult. There's a lot of them, but not a lot of them, but they exist. I have the Charles Manson record. I have his acoustic record, first press of it. I've got there's another one called Love, Serve, Surrender or something, and it's like a box set of just this cult that just did all these folk songs. So, like, I've had some of the L. Ron Hubbard ones. This one I've never seen anyone else show. I don't know really anything about it, but it is weird. It's called Sexogenesis, and it is the most bizarre record. A friend of mine found it, brought it in the shop. We listened to it, and I was like, I will never listen to this again, but I do want it. So I bought it from him on the spot. It is worth money, but I'm fascinated by cults. I think a lot of people are, but it's just a fascinating phenomenon, and the records that come out of them. Like, I do have some of those, the Source family, Father God. Anyways, those records are actually kind of good, so. And the Charles Manson was actually pretty good too. So, anyways, that's one I have, and it's weird chanting, and it sounds like this guy. It's been a while since I heard it, like 3 years, but this guy I might have to listen to it again. But he's out of his mind, just like ranting about God knows what. It's crazy. The next one is this one. This one is Novelty Ragtime Piano Kings, Rube Bloom and Arthur Schutt. Don't know anything about this record, but look at that cover. Awesome, right? I got this at Academy Records in 2019 for $2. This is, on top of it just being a great cover, that probably should be framed somewhere in my home. I collect folkways stuff. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I started picking up folkways records because there's a lot of blues records on folkways that are really educational. If you don't know about folkways, folkways is a label owned, it was by the Smithsonian Museum, and so it's supposed to be like just educational recording. So there are stuff from my hometown, bluegrass from like my hometown, people that I knew played on it. There's old blues records that are on it. There's like stuff from all over the world. They would go out and record stuff in, like, I've got some like drums from Haiti and Africa and stuff. They'd take out and do these field recordings, and they'd issue these records. So anyways, I don't really know anything about this Ragtime Piano Kings. I don't like ragtime piano, but this cover is so killer. And I do have like a whole cube of folkways stuff, and that I probably won't ever listen to most of it. But Some of it, the Folkways stuff that's good is really good. The only Folkways stuff that's really worth a lot of money is there's a couple funk ones, surprisingly, and I don't really have those, but the blues ones are worth a little bit of money. This is one I haven't shown in a while, but I do not like compilations. I don't have many compilations. Got a couple in my collection, but I will not listen to compilations. I hate them because, for the most part, I hate them. I like listening to albums as they were, like, how they're meant to be listened to. Like, they were, made by the artist to be listened to a certain order, and that's how I like them. Certain greatest hits and stuff like that, I really don't listen to. There's a couple that I had when I was young that I will listen to, like the Eagles' greatest hits. That's how I hear those songs in my head because I listen to that record so much. But anyways, this one is Yes Songs, and this looks like a really torched copy because it is. It's not a great copy. I got this for, I think, $8. But I can't remember the name of the shop. There was a shop, Biscuits and Vinyl, I believe it's called. They had this, and they posted it on Instagram. The reason I have this is because of this little sticker on the back. It is the craziest sticker I've ever seen. It is Rochester Police Department Evidence, Do Not Touch, 1973. So it's December 13th, 1973. I need to do some research on what the crime was. I think I've actually tried to do the research and can't figure it out, but there's a case number and all that stuff. Case number is B109184. So if anybody has any access to the Rochester Police Department files, let me know. But this was involved in a crime somehow, and that sticker is hilarious. So it's funny. That sticker's crazy. I almost don't even want to know what happened, just so I can wildly speculate. It's so heavy. Someone probably could have used it as a murder weapon. I don't know. People have probably been killed with less. This one is a really cool one. So people will send me records all the time in the mail. I probably get at least a record or two every week that people send to the shop, and they just want me to hear it because of YouTube and stuff. So, which I love that, and I really appreciate all the records that people give me as gifts. And I actually have a cube of just records that people give me as gifts. Some of them I listen to, some of them I don't. I try to listen to everything I can, but sometimes it's a chore. But this is one that I've never listened to because it's not meant to be listened to. This is a Lil Polka Richie, I Love to Polka. Now, they have like painted this. I don't know if you can't tell, but the paint on this is so thick. But somebody sent me this, and this is what they do. They do like artwork, or they like paint like these. This is such thick paint. I don't know. It's just a weird collage thing he did. I don't know, but it's Draft Riots is the name of the guy. But really nice for him to send me one of these. He does all these. I think he designed a DJ Shadow 12-inch or something. He wrote a note on the back. But anyways, really nice, and I've always kept it just because it was a gift and it's cool and it's weird, and I would never listen to it, but it's funny. I've been meaning to frame it at the shop because it should be seen. Another one, I do have a few like this that I won't listen to probably ever because the recordings are so bad. So I got this in a collection. It's Grateful Dead. It's called Stella Blue. It's got a barcode and everything, and the cover is awesome. So I got this in a collection a few years ago, and I went to go put it, I was going to put it in the shop. I listened to it. It sounds terrible. Worst sounding live show I think I've ever heard, but the cover is awesome. And so like I didn't even want to put it out on the shelf because it sounded so bad. I was like, I guess I'll keep it because I love Grateful Dead stuff. I love the artwork. It's really cool. But I know if anyone bought this and listened to it, they would hate it because it is bad. It is so bad. There's so many good Grateful Dead live recordings. I don't know why on earth you would want to listen to a crappy one. This was terrible. But it's such a cool record. It's packaged so well. I don't really know why you'd go to so much trouble to package a record that sounds so bad. But anyways, I never listened to this and never will, but it's a cool cover. Next one is this one. I'm going to listen to this like once or twice, and then I never listen to it again. This is Joe Scruggs' Traffic Jam, Songs for the Car. This came out in 1985, and it was primarily on cassette. Guess why? No one has turntables in their freaking car. So it's kind of rare I don't think it's valuable rare, but I found one years ago and was like, holy crap, because when I was a kid, my mom and dad had this on cassette, and anytime we went on a family road trip, we would listen to it in the car. Buckle Up, Goo Goo Gaga, Are We There Yet, A Big Tow Truck. These are all songs I know by heart, even still. I don't want to listen to them, but it's just cool, so I kept it. I can't bring myself to sell it because it's not really worth anything, and one day I might let my kids hear it, but I think even they're too old for it now. But when I was a kid, I just remember riding in the car listening to these, and I freaking loved it then. But I also don't know that I'd ever find another one because, like I said, probably 95% of them were sold on cassette because who the heck would listen to a road trip songs on their turntable? Nobody. Stupid, but it exists. This is one I don't really listen to because I don't like the music, but this is Batman and Robin. I don't collect soundtracks. I'm not into superhero stuff at all, although my son is going through a Batman stage right now, and he found this record the other day and really wants to listen to it. Anyways, but yeah, this is a little known fact. This features Sun Ra on the keys. That's the only reason why I have it. It's cool, and it's got the cool artwork, and it features Sun Ra, but I don't like it, and I won't listen to it. Some people like it. That's fine. I just don't. Speaking of my son, he went through a phase of he would really like to hear stories about D.B. Cooper. So if you don't know D.B. Cooper, look it up on YouTube. Everybody knows who D.B. Cooper is. He robbed a bank and got into a plane and jumped out and with all the money, and he was never found and all this stuff. Anyways, it's a true story, and no one ever knows what happened to him. So anyways, a couple years ago, my son went into the rabbit hole and was watching YouTube videos on it and all this stuff, and he was obsessed with D.B. Cooper, right? So I bought this record. Well, I mean, I had it in a collection. I got it in a collection. I brought it home, and he was like, yes, let's listen to it. Only problem is, it looks terrible. It's not terrible. It's got Waylon Jennings and Rita Coolidge, and it doesn't fit me very well. So I didn't want to listen to it at the time. So I was like, you know what? He don't know what this record sounds like, and he wouldn't like it anyways. So anytime he would ask to listen to this record, I'd pull out whatever record I wanted to listen to because he was 5 at the time. And I would just throw whatever record I wanted to listen to on, and I would put this on the now playing thing, and he would just think it was his record, and he loved it. He didn't realize that every single time we played it, it was a totally different record. Sometimes it was jazz, sometimes it was psych. But anyways, I've never listened to it, and I probably won't. But anytime he wants to listen to it, I will put it up on the thing, and I'll throw on whatever record I want to throw on, and he will never know the difference. There is a couple more. These both are records that I found back in the day when I was digging, and I thought they were both just mega grails, and they aren't. But I was working, some of you may know this if you've done the deep dive on my interviews and stuff when people have interviewed me. But I sold Toyotas. I sold the Toyotas for a couple years, and I did pretty well. I was a very good Toyota salesman. I had no beard. I was totally clean shaven, and I was a hard-hitting, I had such a zest for life. I had never made any money in my whole life. I was completely poor my whole entire life, and getting into selling cars was easy to me. And I did it, and I did a very good job, and I loved it until I didn't. And then, if you guys are ever worked at a dealership, they don't have to pay you. You agree when you get on there. The way it works is you kind of get, you can get draft, which is I think that's what they call it. Draw. You get draw. It's called draw. And, basically they could pay you minimum wage if you don't sell anything, but then once you start selling stuff, you have to pay that money back. And guys would get like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in the hole, and they owe $20,000, and so it doesn't matter how many cars they sell, they can't catch up. Anyways, all that to say, it was February, and if you've ever worked at a car dealership, February sucks. You don't sell any cars. I think I made like $250 a whole month because I wouldn't take draw because I didn't want to get behind. And it was just terrible. So all the days in February, I would take a long lunch and I would go record digging. And this was probably 2011. I would go out record digging, and I went to this one spot one time, and I didn't know anything about jazz, but I wanted to get into jazz. And I found this record, and I thought, I have hit the jazz grail train. This is the best jazz. And it is David Brubeck. Okay? I don't like this record. And, you know, a lot of you guys probably love David Brubeck, and that's fine. He just don't do it for me now. Once you've heard the good stuff, I'm joking. I just don't really like this record anymore. But at the time, I thought this record was worth hundreds of dollars. There was Discogs back then, but I didn't know about it and I didn't use it. So I didn't know. I thought it was worth a ton of money. And if you would ask me, I would have thought this is the most valuable record I've ever seen. For whatever reason, I do not know. I don't know. I think I paid $1 for it. You know, I didn't pay a lot for it. But now when I see it, it's funny. And it's not worth selling. And it's just like, it's not even a first. I think it's a second press. It's just funny. So that's why I still have it. And same kind of goes with this one. And this is a really cool record. I don't really remember where I got it from. I think I got it in a collection I bought early on, 2010, 2011, something like that, when I first started buying and selling records. But this is Good Morning Blues, the early Lead Belly, narrated by Woody Guthrie. Now, this looks pretty cool, and it is pretty cool. This is a record of Lead Belly songs, and in between the songs is Woody Guthrie talking about Lead Belly. It's a cool record. It really is. I will never listen to it, though. If I'm going to listen to Woody Guthrie, I'm going to listen to Woody Guthrie. If I'm going to listen to Lead Belly, I'll listen to Lead Belly. But I don't need to hear Woody Guthrie talking about Lead Belly in between the songs. I don't care for that. I don't like records that have a lot of dialogue. I like them with music. But when I found this, I thought it was a mega grail. I had someone offer me $100 for this record, and I turned it down. I don't know what these go for on Discogs, but I think they go for about $5. Anyways, but I thought it was just like an artifact. It's like, it's Woody Guthrie and Lead Belly. It's great. You know, I didn't know anything about stuff like that then, and I just so this was way back, and now that I have it, I just remembered how much I loved it for what it was. I remember where I found this now. I got it at the Wax Museum. If you guys have ever dug in Charlotte, there used to be a record store called the Wax Museum. It was a crazy place. I thought I was the only one who knew about it, but everybody knew about it. You thought it was a wax museum, but then when you walked in, it was records, and they were all priced really fair. I found so many good records there. But anyways, that's where I got this record, and I always just thought it was just incredible. Those two records were just incredible, and now they're just not worth any. They're not worth selling. And the memory of having them, but I really probably won't ever listen to them. So, anyways, I hope you guys listen to this video, and more. I hope you enjoyed it. But even more than that, I hope that I see a bunch of these pop up. I hope that this is a thread and everybody just shows the top 10 stinkers in your collection, which these aren't really stinkers. It's just stuff I just won't listen to. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Take care, and we will see you next time.